Hi guys, welcome back to Tom on Things. Today we are working back on the Corsa. We've got a few more bits that we need to strip off of this. Main one being the dash on the inside. Never done it before, so we're going to take you guys along for the ride. We've got a few little bits as well to do on the snakeskin Saxo, ready for its MOT to take it out to shows this year. So yeah, let's crack on and get on with it. Right, so the crusty Corsa, as it is lovingly known at the moment, basically we need to remove this flock dash that was installed in here. We've got all of the other interior pieces that are all new in the garage, but this is one of the remaining pieces in this car that we can actually properly reuse. The majority of other stuff has kind of all been stripped off and chucked down the back. So we're also going to get these seats out as well because they're horrible and they are getting in the way because they're all stuck together. So yeah, we're going to crack on. I think from what I can see, we've got some fixings here. This is now kind of pretty loose. I think we're probably going to have some in the middle and some over this side as well, so we're just going to have a look around and see what we can find, and hopefully we can get it all out in one piece. Alright, so first up we've just got our sort of little vent on one side, got a vent on the other. Taking all the bolts out of the centre. This is sort of pretty loose now, but what I think is the case is there's actually some bolts underneath this scuttle pan up the front here, so it means that we've got to take the wiper off and the wiper motor and stuff, which we need to do anyway because it's got the single wiper conversion, which we want to definitely keep for the next car. So going to crack on, I'm going to get this one off and then we're going to take a look under the bonnet and see where those other fixings are. Alright, and there we go, got our little single wiper conversion kit, so we're going to need to take this off as well. But I'm thinking, at least I'm having a look, see if I can see any bolt holes. Maybe that one there, right in the middle, I'm thinking, so I'm going to take that one off. These other ones kind of look like they've already been taken off. From what I can see, maybe one in there on a bracket. So yeah, we're just going to crack on and basically remove this bad boy here, and then hopefully the whole dash comes out. Alright, that was really easy. Basically one bolt here, one bolt over here, one that went in here, and a plug that sat down here, which has been disconnected, and basically this whole unit is now free, which is really cool. So we'll put this in the pile of stuff at the moment, and then it'll end up going in the keep pile. I've also just got a bucket of bits where we're just going to collect up all the bolts because inevitably we're going to end up needing some. I've just seen a couple more fixings just under here, so I'm thinking maybe those ones are part of it as well. So we're going to crack on, we're going to go and remove all these bolts and then we'll see what happens. Right, and there we go, dashboard out. That was an absolute hitter, but as you can see, with it being a flock dash, once it's been cleaned up, it's going to be really good. Yeah, this was an absolute pig, to be honest. Finding bolts on the inside, as we can see up here, and kind of trying to get it all over all of this stuff was a bit of a pain in the arse. So I've been left with this absolute mess. So as we know, we're scrapping the car. So we're basically going to take out everything that we can, so all the wiring and stuff. I'm going to try and keep all the looms and that because they're always useful to people. Indicator stalks, any sort of connector blocks and various bits and bobs, the ECU, fuses, all of that stuff. We've taken off all the window trims, all the door trims. Just got to get some of these trims that are remaining here. We'll get those off now, and then we're pretty much on our way for this being fully stripped to the point where we can call up a guy and get them to turn up and take it away. We'll get the wheels off, we'll get the coilovers off as well, and then they'll just take the shell with them and go and get rid of it for us. So yeah, making some good progress. Right, next up is to remove the seats, and to do that I think we have to do this. We have got one bolt there, we've got probably some other bolts over here, I think, just in the back corner that I can see. I'm guessing there's going to be a front one somewhere underneath all the shit and carpet, so we'll have a look and see what we can find underneath that as well. And then yeah, hopefully we can get both these seats out. So we're undoing that bolt and it just kept spinning, and I think I found the reason why. Yeah, so I think it's pulled up all the floor in this, which is basically turned it into Flintstones. Happy days. Alright, and then that will be the reason why. Oh God, what a peach this car is. Oh dear, yeah, this was never going back on the road. Just never. Right. Cool, okay, so one seat out, let's crack on, let's get the next one out. And then we can start to shift any of the little bits that we need to keep. Right, so that's progress made on the Corsa. We're basically stripped out interior wise, so it's looking pretty bare at the moment, as I say, just wiring and stuff to go on this, and we've kind of tucked it over here in the corner at the moment with all the rest of the kit and stuff. We are working on the snakeskin Saxo. Something that we've always needed to do was basically we've got a couple of batteries in the back of this, which I'll show you in a second. One of those is for the hydraulics. The other is for the audio system, and we've had a few times where basically the hydraulics battery has run sort of reasonably low, which then causes the car not to be able to raise particularly quickly or not very efficiently. And so the only way to get access to that is to actually remove this panel, which is sitting just over here, and then you've got to take out all of these because the battery is tucked down below, which I'll show you now. Right, so when we come round and then into the car, and we're looking through here, so I've already started pulling stuff apart, but in essence this is kind of what you're met with, which is a mess at the moment. I am going to be sorting this out, basically, and tidying it up a little bit and getting everything all nice and clean, but that battery down the bottom is the one that's used for the hydraulics. This one up here is the one used for the audio. All of this, as you can see, is actually all pulled forward with all the amps and stuff at the moment, so as you can imagine you have absolutely zero access to this. So what we've gone and done is we've picked ourselves up a kind of trickle charger lead, this one right here, and then what we've got for the opposing end is this one. So what we're planning to do is to basically remove this little USB thing because it's pointless, and we're going to put another sort of bigger 12 volt feed and stuff in here instead. And in essence we're going to have one that sits here which will feed the hydraulics, one next to it that will feed the leisure battery for the audio, so that if there is ever a problem with any of the split charge coming into the back of these, then it will always be able to be topped up by here, which is a lot easier, which means that everything can stay all kind of hidden, and ultimately just make it a much easier car to use in a sort of regular basis. So going to crack on, going to get some pieces out, going to get some things wired in and drilled out, and then we'll show you what the finished drill looks like. Right, and then we're left with this, which is just where the two drill holes was, and then the kind of little pilot hole that was there for passing the little cables through for the USB. So now basically we need to drill a hole that's big enough for this to pass through, and then we can poke it through on either side and then just drill it in place. So we're going to crack on and go and do that. Right, there we go, first one in, just sitting in here just like this, little port, job done. Then we'll have the second one sat next to it just over here, and then we'll have a piece in the middle which will then cover up this hole from the previous one, and then yeah, that basically is feeding in, as we can see through here. This one's coming down and into the battery that sits underneath all this stuff, which is where I was saying it's really difficult. And then we've got another one where it's going to come straight in and directly into this battery terminal here, and this one here, so it's sort of nice and close. So yeah, now all to do is to basically button up these mounts for the moment. These are all temporary, like old stuff, but we don't like this. This is not up to our standards, so we're going to need to redo it. And then we just put the cover on for the moment and just leave it as it is. Right, and then just to show what that looks like once the sort of cover plate has gone over the top of it and kind of covers all the horribleness going on underneath. But as you can see, we've got a bit more work to do on that amplifier at the top because we've not lined it up absolutely perfect. But again, we're going to replace in the brackets anyway, so it's not a problem. It's all cool. So yeah, basically that's kind of a mini update that we've done on this as well while we've kind of been here. We're going to get this sent off to get MOT'd pretty soon, so that we can basically start cruising around it again, which will be really good fun. And hopefully when the weather improves a little bit, as you can see, got a bit of wet head at the moment, we can get out to a couple more shows. Ones that are coming up for me soon are in February at Piston Club. There is a kind of Max Power-esque show, probably going to be taking this. If not, I'll be taking the 106 or one of the two, and we'll be heading up north to go to that event in February, which will be really, really cool. So looking forward to that. Oh, and Plus 44 managed to get accepted in this car for this year, which is cool. So decided not to take the 106. Kind of attended last year in the 106 on the Maguire's lawn, and again, this has been accepted onto the Maguire's lawn. Obviously, I mean, look how stupid and crazy it is. I'm surprised it wouldn't be, and looking forward to having it open and having people sort of enjoy reminiscing about the good old days, and when they maybe previously saw this in the early 2000s at a Max Power show with a load of babes around them. So anyway, maybe I'll be around it. Maybe you can classify me as a babe at the time. Maybe we'll get dressed up, who knows. Anyway, I digress. So with that, cheers for watching. Nice short and sweet one, but cracking on with progress at the moment, and yeah, seeing it into the new year.